This is TrialProof. It does not predict who is eligible for a clinical trial. It computes it. A language model only reads the note. A SNOMED-CT knowledge graph resolves what the words mean, and a deterministic engine decides eligible, excluded, or needs review, with a reasoning trace a regulator can file. The problem is expensive. Patient matching AI reads a chart as plain text, so it confuses procedures that share a word but not a meaning. On screen, this patient's note records a central venous catheter placement. This anticoagulant trial excludes cardiac catheterization. To a similarity matcher, those look like the same catheter procedure, and it throws the patient out. Every day of enrollment delay can cost a sponsor $800,000. TrialProof keeps the patient. On the cardiac catheterization criterion, it returns eligible, and it shows exactly why. Click the criterion to open its trace. The engine checks a real question against the ontology. Is central venous catheterization a kind of cardiac catheterization? It is not. The two concepts sit on different branches of the SNOMED hierarchy, so no exclusion path exists, and the patient stays eligible. The baseline, on the right, returns only a similarity number and no explanation at all. And this is not a canned result. Reread the chart and the language model reads the note again live. It takes a few seconds. Then every reasoning step after it, verification, assembly, and the final verdicts finishes in microseconds. The slow part is reading. The decision is instant, and it is deterministic. Click the extraction stage to see what the model was allowed to do. It proposes candidate facts, each tied to a verbatim span from the note, and mapped only into a closed clinical vocabulary. It cannot invent a code that is not on the list. Then an adversarial verifier challenges every proposed fact before it is allowed to count. It checks that the span is really in the note, that it is not negated, and that it belongs to the patient rather than a relative. Only facts that survive reach the decision engine. Switch this same patient to the oncology trial and the payoff is sharper. The trial excludes diabetes. The note literally says, no evidence of diabetes. The vector baseline matches the word diabetes at a similarity of 1 and excludes an eligible patient. TrialProof reads the negation, drops the mention, and keeps her in. The verifier also catches the model's own mistakes. This patient's chart is a test case. The extractor proposes a drug that the note never mentions. The verifier finds no matching span and rejects it as a hallucination, shown struck through, before it can ever change a verdict. Real criteria carry exceptions that a score cannot represent. This patient had platinum chemotherapy, which the trial excludes, unless it was adjuvant and completed more than 12 months before randomization. TrialProof does the date arithmetic, finds the exception satisfied, and returns eligible. It also confirms her tumor marker meets the inclusion threshold, a fact the baseline cannot even read. And when the record is not enough to decide, TrialProof refuses to guess. This patient has no blood pressure reading on file, so the controlled hypertension criterion cannot be proven either way. Instead of a confident wrong answer, the engine returns needs review and says exactly what is missing. All of this is checkable because the engine reasons over a real graph. This is the SNOMED subgraph it queries. Central venous catheterization and cardiac catheterization sit on visibly different branches, so no is a path connects them. That is why the vector baseline, seeing the shared word, is wrong, and why the trace is not. Across a labeled gold set of 13 cases, the difference is measurable. TrialProof scores 100% against the fair vector baseline's 53.8. It loses 0 eligible patients, where the baseline loses 3. And it carries an audit trace on 100% of decisions, where the baseline carries none. Because the decision is deterministic, it is also reproducible. Rerun the whole gold set, and the output is byte for byte identical. Then export it as a CDISC SDTM inclusion-exclusion record, the audit file a sponsor actually has to file. Same input, same verdict, same trace, every single time. So this is the whole idea. A model reads the note, but it never decides. The verdict is computed over a real ontology and real dates. It keeps the eligible patients, a similarity score throws away, and every decision comes with a trace that reruns identically. The reasoning layer that patient matching AI is missing. It is what we build at Veriprajna. If your trials turn on who is eligible and a wrongly excluded patient carries real cost, we would welcome a conversation. Building true intelligence.